Hey friends, Mr. Spitzer here. We are already in week 9 of remote learning, and our focus today is writing about setting. So we are in fantasy writing, lesson 7, focusing on writing about the setting or where your story takes place. Now, I am in my Google Classroom right here, and you can see the assignment for today says the focus is on writing about setting. In lesson 3, we brainstorm possible fantasy settings. So you've already thought a little bit about the setting that your story might have or where your story is taking place, but now you must choose the main setting of your story and describe it with as much detail as possible. If you were to read your description out loud, a family member should be able to picture your setting in their head. And one way you can do this is to first draw a picture of your setting and then write about it. So in today's lesson, I am going to show you the Google Docs. I'm going to walk us through some of the questions and show you how to fill out the graphic organizer to help you write about your setting. So again, I have my fake student here, Jane Doe. I am in Google Documents. So step 2 says to open up your Google Documents. You're selecting the Digital Writing Workshop Notebook, and then you're clicking on lesson 5 in the table of contents, or you're going to scroll down. So here's my fake student. I've already scrolled down to lesson 5. One way you could do this is if you're at the top, you can also go to lesson 5 on setting, click on it, click on the bookmark, and it brings you right to lesson 5. So make sure you're filling out the heading on top, and our do now question says, how can you paint a picture with words? So think about that for a second. How can you paint a picture with words? And I want you to type in your answer right where the little hand emoji is. All right, so lesson 5 is on setting, and our teaching point says that fantasy writers can create a place by thinking about the place in their head and thinking about how the place affects the character. So an example of this is that you might think of a haunted house, and how might the place, the haunted house, make your character act or behave? They might act scared and cautious, or they could show they are brave. So you have to think about how your setting affects your character. For your organizer today, I want you to choose a setting from your fantasy story and draw that setting below. Now I know the Google drawing feature is not great, but it's to get you to really think about and consider all of the parts of your setting. So it says here that you're going to use the drawing feature by going to the Insert tab, clicking on Drawing and then New, and then select Line Scribble to Draw. I want to show you how to do this. So here we are going to, it says use the drawing feature. We're going to the Insert tab right up here. We're scrolling down where it says Drawing, and we're going to New. The next thing it said you needed to do is go to the Select Line button right here, and we're going to go to Scribble, and that allows us to draw right in this box. So in my fantasy setting, I have my apartment complex building, and I also have like this garbage dump maybe. So I'm going to start off by drawing my lines here. Here's my apartment complex. It kind of goes up and then over. It's normally straighter than this. We have like, I guess, the roof this way. Now you don't have to be a great artist to do this. What I really want you to do is focus on the specifics of like what's important within your setting. So I know like my window is up here. The next floor window, and then the last one. We got our big door right here. So you can see I'm just doing my best. It's not perfect, but it's really, it's trying to show you where my story is taking place. And in this case, my story is taking place outside of my apartment complex. So here I know I have this big tree that sits outside my apartment, and that's actually where my character is going to find the dragon eggs. So I'm drawing this big tree here. It has a bird's nest, and that's where these dragon eggs are going to be. As I mentioned before, there's also that like garbage dump maybe or landfill outside. So I'm going to put this like gate right here. Again, we're just doing our best to draw our setting. So this is it for now. I might go back and add more details later. So when I click save and close, so we have our picture here. It's exactly what I wanted. It's inserted right in there. The next thing says that we're going to describe the setting in your story in this entry, and you're going to use as much detail as you can. So instead of saying an apartment complex in New Jersey, you want to use words so that your reader can picture the setting in your head. So an apartment complex in a small town in New Jersey, trees line the outside of the complex with birds chirping. Really use those sensory details. Try to describe in your setting what you could possibly hear, what you could see, what you could smell, and things we talked about is maybe even what you could taste, not just food, but maybe like saltiness or the air. So try to use sensory details when you're writing and describing this setting so that your reader feels like they are there too. If you have any questions about either drawing your picture and drawing your setting or in actually writing about your setting, please join my office hours. I love to have people. We actually go over their work. I provide feedback and comments. So it's a really great time to hold you accountable and to improve your work. I hope everyone is having fun writing about their fantasy story and creating this new fantasy setting. And I look forward to talking to you all soon. Bye.